Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everybody. It's Miss Allen here and we're going to do a little grammar lesson on French grammar. So we're going to recap all of the main grammar points that we've learned throughout year 7. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with is gender. Now gender means whether it's masculine or feminine, and in particular we're looking at whether it's singular or plural. So we've learnt already that all nouns in French are either masculine or feminine, and you have to learn the gender of a noun when you learn a new word. A noun, so a thing, is singular when it refers to only one thing, and plural when it refers to more. When a noun becomes plural, we add an S on the end, like we do in English. So for example, le crayon becomes les crayons. The pencil becomes the pencils. Words ending in ou, when plural, add an X on the end. So for example, le bureau becomes les bureaux. And words ending in al, when plural, add ou. So for example, un animal becomes des animaux. So let's see how you would get on making these things plural. So you've got 4 different nouns, and after each one you've got a number to illustrate how many you've got of each one. So for example, the first one, crayon, crayon, 2, deux, you would write down deux crayons. So you need to write the number as a French word and do whatever you need to do to the ending to show me that it is now plural. You'll now need to pause the recording to give you time to do this activity. Okay, let's see how you got on. So we know that number 1 was deux crayons. Number 2, you've got cheval and the number 3. So the answer you should have written down was trois chevaux. Okay, so remember, when something ends in AL, when it's plural, you add AUX to the end. Number 3 was professeur, and, sorry, I've hidden it slightly, it was 4 professeurs, so that becomes quatre professeurs. Again, you do put an S on the end, but you don't pronounce it when you say it. Numéro 4, règle, and 5. So what you should have written down was 5 règles. Très bien, super. So if you've done okay with those, let's see if you can do these ones for me. They're a little bit harder. Still look at the rules above in the green box and pay close attention to those. When you see the word les, L-E-S, it still means the. So all you have to do is make the noun with it plural. Pause the recording to give yourself time to do this activity. Okay, let's see how you did with that. So les châteaux becomes les châteaux with an X on the end. Trousse and de, so that's deux trousses, and you needed to put an extra S on the end. Then you've got anniversaire and les, so that becomes les anniversaires. So we pronounce the S because it's followed by a vowel, and be sure to put that S on the end of anniversaire. And then number 4, gâteau and dix, so you should have written dix gâteaux, and because gâteau ends in EAU, you needed to add an X on the end because it's plural. So pause the recording if you need to compare what you've written down with what's on the screen, because in French it doesn't always sound that different when it's singular to plural. Now, if you feel like you've got on really well with that and you're feeling quite confident, what do they all mean? So pause the recording again and write down what these 8 things mean in English. Okay, let's have a look at what they mean. So, deux crayons means 2 pencils, not 2 crayons. Trois chevaux means 3 horses. Quatre professeurs means 4 teachers. 5 règles means 5 rulers. Les châteaux means the castles. Deux trousses means 2 pencil cases. Les anniversaires means the birthdays. And 10 gâteaux means 10 cakes. Yum yum. Okay, so remember, you've got masculine nouns in French and you've got feminine nouns in French. When you want to say the for a masculine noun, you say le, For example, le chien. But when you want to say the for a feminine noun, it's la, as in la souris. Now, if you want to say a, as in a dog or a cat, the word for masculine things is un. For example, un livre, a book. But for feminine things, it's une. Par exemple, une règle, a ruler. Now, then you need to think about plural. So if you wanted to say the dogs, but it was plural, because dogs is plural, then you need to say les. And when you're writing it, you've got to be sure that you put an S on the end. And for feminine things, it's les as well. Okay? But supposing you want to say some. So some books would be des livres. So you're swapping les to des for some. And the same for feminine nouns. Par exemple, des règles, some rulers. Now that's quite a lot of information and it's quite a lot to remember as well. So I would advise you copy this down. Okay? Copy it down and keep it near you for the rest of this lesson. Okay, now we're going to look at articles. Don't be put off by the word articles. Articles just means le, la, les, un, une, des, which is what we've just been doing. So, the definite article is the word the, and there are three words for the in French. So there's le, la, les. You knew this. I've just gone through it with you. So le is for masculine things, for example, le stylo, the pen. La is for feminine things, la trousse, par exemple, the pencil case. And les is for plural things, so les crayons, the pencils, for example. Watch out for le and la, though, which become L apostrophe when they come before a noun that starts with a vowel or an H. For example, l'ordinateur, you've had that before. Okay, it means the computer. So now if we look at the indefinite article is the word a or some. So in French, un, it means a for masculine things. So un stylo is a pen. Une is for feminine nouns to mean a. Par exemple, une trousse, a pencil case. And des means some. So if you want to say some pencils, des crayons. So now what I would like you to do is I want you to translate these words using the dictionary page in the white box. So you've got numbers 1 to 8. I want you to pause the recording, write down numbers 1 to 8, and I want you to translate the dessert, a turkey, the showers, the drawings, the dice, using everything in the white box. Now obviously the words in the white box are in the wrong order, so you have to get them in the right order. And in brackets, they say strange things like NF and NM. What do you think those mean? Well, I shall tell you. NF means feminine noun or noun feminine, and NM is the masculine version. So that way you know whether you need to put le, la, les or un, une, des. Now this is going to take a little bit of thinking about, so don't immediately disregard it and think, oh, I can't do it. Just think again about what I've asked you to do, reread the notes on this screen, look at the notes you've written down, take your time, pause the recording, and we'll see how you did in a moment. Okay, right then, let's have a look at your answers. Voilà. Numéro 1, le désert. So it's le désert because it's the dessert and it's masculine. Numéro 2, une dinde. Une dinde because it's feminine and it's a turkey. Numéro 3, les douches. Les because it's plural, douche has an S on the end. Numéro 4, les dessins. So the drawings, again it's plural. Numéro 5, un des because it's masculine and it's a. Numéro 6, des dictionnaires, some dictionaries. Numéro 7, le dent, the tooth. Et numéro 8, la danse. Well done. That was quite tricky, so very well done indeed. Okay, now we're going to look at les adjectifs adjectives, otherwise known as describing words. So unlike English, adjectives in French come after the noun that they're describing. For example, un chien noir, which means a dog black, but it's translated as a black dog. However, some can come before, and these are grand or grande and petit, petite, so big and small. For example, une petite souris. Okay, so let's see. Not quite sure why my adjectives are flashing. Obviously, they're very important. Let's see if you can do exercise 4. Can you put these words in the right order? So instead of petit le chien for number 1, what would it be instead? It's not going to be petit le chien. You need to rearrange the words to make it make sense. Pause the recording to give yourself time to do the activity. Okay, let's see how you did. So number 1 should be le petit chien. Number 2 should be une grande maison. Number 3 should be une souris blanche. Number 4 is le petit village. Number 5 is les crayons bleus. Look at the spelling. Although I don't pronounce the S's on the end, they do need to be written down. And number 6, la petite trousse. Well done. Very well done. So adjectives change depending on whether the noun being described is masculine, feminine, singular or plural. You might remember this from when we did colours with pets. But most of the time the rule is for feminine adjectives you add an E. For masculine plural you add an S, and for feminine plural you add ES. So let's see if you can do this activity for me. I want you to pause the recording, and for exercise 5 I need you to choose the correct form of the adjective. So number 1 says un chien noir, noir and noir. They don't sound that different, but written down you can see that they are. I need you to decide, should the correct form of noir be the first, second or third one to go with un chien? You write it down. Pause the recording now. Okay, let's go through the answers. Les réponses. Alors, numéro 1, un chien noir. Numéro 2, deux serpents vertes. Numéro 3, des crayons grises. Numéro 4, le stylo bleu. Numéro 5, 3 grands chats. Numéro 6, une souris blanche. What do they mean in English? So number 1, un chien noir means a black dog. Number 2, 2 green snakes is deux serpents verts, so 2 green snakes. Number 3, des crayons gris is some grey pencils. Numéro 4, le stylo bleu means the blue pen. Number 5, 3 grands chats means 3 big cats. And number 6, une souris blanche means a white mouse. Very well done indeed. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is possessive adjectives. So mon, ma, mes, and they all mean my. In French, the word for my changes depending on whether the thing that belongs to you is masculine, feminine or plural. So for example, my with masculine things is mon crayon, my pencil. My with feminine things is ma trousse, my pencil case. And my with plural things is mes, mes. Par exemple, mes règles, my rulers. So look back at your answers for exercise 3 and decide whether you would say mon, ma or mes for each of the things listed. You'll need to pause the recording now in order to do this activity. Okay, let's go through the answers. Les réponses. So, number 1, le désert became mon désert because it's masculine. So my pudding, my dessert. Number 2 was ma dinde. Number 3, mes douches. Number 4, mes dessins. Number 5, mon dé. Number 6, mes dictionnaires. Number 7, mon don. And number 8, ma danse. Okay, so pause the recording if you want to have a look at that, compare it to what you've written down. Well done. Okay, now we're going to have a look at verbs in the present tense. We did a little bit to do with verbs, and I'll explain a bit more about it now. So, verbs in the present tense. The present tense is what we use to describe what is happening now, or what usually happens on a regular basis. And the endings change depending on who is doing the action. So, je is I, tu is you, il is he, or elle is she. And you need to know that the tu form, so the you form of the verb, always ends in the letter S. So let's have a look at some verbs. So these are the most common verbs that you'll come across. So the verb être, which means to be, that's where we get I am, you are, he is, she is. So je suis is I am, tu es, you are, il est, he is, and elle est is she is. Then we have the verb avoir, which means to have. So j'ai means I have, tu as means you have, il a means he has, and elle a means she has. Then we have the verb s'appeler, which means to be called. So je m'appelle comes from s'appeler. Je m'appelle means I'm called. Tu t'appelles means you're called. Il s'appelle means he is called. And elle s'appelle means she is called. So 3 more verbs that are really important are habiter, aimer, and détester. So habiter means to live. So we've got I live, you live, he lives, she lives. It's always in the same order. I, you, he, she. Then we've got aimer, to like. That's where we get j'aime from. And détester. That's where we get je déteste from. Okay, so you've got your verb tables there, always in the same order, I, you, he, she. So using the verb tables, the verb grids, I want you to write down how you say the following in French. So for example, number 1, he is, you're going to need to use the verb être. So it would be il est, because he is the 3rd one on the list. Use the green box to help you decide who it is that's doing the action, and then you find it in the verb table. Pause the recording now to give you time to do this activity. Okay, let's go through the answers. So, we said that number 1 was il est, and that means he is. Number 2, you have, is tu as. Number 3, I live, is j'habite. You knew that one. That just rolls off the tongue for you. Number 4, he is called, is il s'appelle. Number 5, she likes, is elle aime. And number 6, you hate, is tu détestes. And I know I'm not pronouncing the S on the end, but you need to have written it. Okay? Really, really well done. Bravo! That was quite a difficult and challenging activity, and grammar isn't always the most exciting thing, but you've done really, really well with this. So that's the end of our lesson, and all that leaves me to say is à bientôt, which is see you soon. Take good care. Au revoir.